This is a tutorial on how, with the help of JavaScript, we can make a simple calculator program. So, as you can see on the screen, I have the code written. As I have already written code and our working calculator is already there. So, first I am going to show you the calculator, then I will explain the code. Okay, so this is how our calculator looks. Okay, so the black part is the screen. There are buttons for input, operational buttons, plus, minus, multiply, divide, equal to, all clear button for clearing screen, and delete button. I will show you that they are working. See, when I input 1, 2, when I click 3, okay, so I can add, can delete, okay, I can do multiple operations at a time. Okay, I can use all clear to clear screen. Okay, so now I'm going to explain the code. So basically I will explain the script part. So let me just show you the little bit HTML part. So I have used div elements, container, inside it there is a display div. Then I use button element for 1 to 9 and all buttons. I have used flexbox. Okay, as you can see, input display flex to align the elements. Okay, so I'm going to script part. So this is our script. Before that, I'm just going to show you the IDs. So I access these IDs. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and similarly 0. Okay, so this is our script part. So first I have declared three arrays: stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and I have used these names as these arrays will be used in different stages of program. I will explain that. There are two numbers, num1 and num2, declared to 0. There is another array, OP array. This array will be used for operations. This will have the operation symbols inside it. They will push the operation symbols whenever user clicks operation buttons. Okay. Then I create a display H4 element by the name disp. Okay, so we will push this element disp inside our display container. As you can see, I access the display here, and then I append the our disp element that we have created inside the display. So this disp will contain the disp whatever will be shown on the screen. Okay, and I have also created a string, this empty string. Okay, so this string, whatever will be the content of this string will be shown on the screen in the black part. Okay, so we will update this string whenever a user clicks a button. Okay, I will show you when we go further. So then we go to uh, we access the one button. As you can see, I use the same name one, get element by ID. Then I attach a event listener on it, as you see. So in the beginning, what we do is we update the string. So in the beginning, the screen when program starts, the screen is empty. Then when I click one, then the thing that you can see on screen one comes on screen. So in background what happens is that the string that we created updates, we add just one to the end of the string. So then we update the inner HTML so that the updated string is shown on screen. Okay, then the last thing we do is that in our stage one array. Okay, so when user clicks one button, the last thing that happens is that in the this array one, we will push one. It will be as a string, not as a number, but it will be one as a string. Okay, so as you can see, I do three things. First, I update the string to update our display. Then second thing I do is I update the inner HTML. Then last thing we do in the number buttons is that we push the string by the same number. Okay. Similar things we do for uh, two buttons, like two. We update a string with instead of one we use two here. Then we last thing we do is we push the same string for that number. Okay, we will push the string 2. Similarly for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0 and decimal, we do the same things as I said before. Okay, then we come to the operational buttons. So we will do the same similar things for all operational buttons, but uh, let me explain it for one. Okay, so we access the addition button here, then we attach the event listeners. So with event listener we can uh, tell program what will happen with whenever someone clicks that button. Okay, so first thing we do, same similar to with our number buttons, we update the string. So with the string, whatever the string was before, we use this line, we just add plus at the last of it. Okay, then we update the inner HTML so that our display is updated. Then up to now we didn't use the stage 2 array, but now we are going to use that. Okay, so as you can see, someone will click operation buttons uh, when he or she has already put a number before. Okay, so in that scenario we will what we will do is that we will push that numbers that are already there in the stage 1 array into the stage 2 array now. Okay, so we are joining the stage 1 array contents by, you can see I use this line stage 1 dot join empty string. This will join the contents of a stage 1 array and we will push them into the stage 2 array as a single entry. Okay, so we will join all of them, the contents of a stage 1 array, and put into the stage 2 array. Then we will empty the stage 1 array for next inputs, such that the user will mostly okay, actually all the time will uh, will click another number for whatever the thing that they will do. Okay, so then the last thing we do is that we push the up to now we didn't use the OP array. So this array we just push a plus string into the OP array. So so I'm going to explain the whole thing with what we do will with the operation buttons with the animation video. Okay, so let's see that. Okay, so for example I use this simple calculation like okay, sorry, uh, there is another animation. Okay, so this is the animation. Okay, for input order 15 plus. Okay, so as you can see the first array b I this thing is I represent it as an array. This is our stage 1 array. Okay, and the Second one is stage 2 array. So uh, this is before the when the plus button is clicked. So when the 1 is clicked, then 1 comes into the stage 1 array, and when 5 is clicked, then 5 comes into the stage 1 array. So actually there is a comma in between, and both of this 1 ball and 5 ball is a string. Okay, so when 1 is clicked, 1 comes into the stage 1 array as a string. Then when 5 is clicked, then 5 comes into the stage 1 array. So now stage 1 array has two elements, 1 and 5 as a string. Okay, so when we will click the plus button, see what happens. Okay, so as you can see with motion, uh, the elements of stage 1 array are put into the stage 2 array as a single entry. Whatever will be in the stage 1 array will be put into the stage 2 array as a single entry, but as a string. Okay, so this thing happens whenever operational button like plus minus, addition or subtraction is clicked in this our calculator. So all contents of stage 1 array are joined and put into the stage 2 array as a single entry. So this becomes our like a first number for calculation. Okay, so maybe I explained it decently. So similar things are happening for subtraction, multiply, divide. See, subtraction will be first thing we do is we update the string, then we put the contents of stage 1 array into the stage 2 array. Okay, then at the last we push the in the OP array we push the same symbols for operation. We are pushing a minus string into the OP array. Same things I do for multiply and divide. Okay, so basically with calculator program as JavaScript, when we give it two numbers, it can add or divide by itself. We are just connecting the user input with the JavaScripts so that when uh, whatever the user wants, we are able to do that. So then there I use the this is our delete button. I access it. So actually I will explain the delete button later. First, let me show you the equal to part. Okay, so, as first thing we do is we calculate something. We are using the equal button. Okay, so this is our I access the equal button, then I attach event listener. Then what I do is that first thing we do is the same as for everything before. We just put the contents of stage 1 array into the stage 2 array so that we have our last number as the whatever will this whatever the number is, this will be the last number as we are clicking the equal to button. Okay, then we empty the stage 1 array, then we use this stage 3 array which we haven't used for up to now. So what we do is that, see this line is stage 2 dot map. We are using on every element of stage 2 parse a float. So so our stage 2 array actually have all the numbers we are using in a calculation. Our numbers are there in this stage 2 array but as a string. So we are just converting the strings as a numbers. Okay, so I'm going to show you the what happens in the stage our equal to button. So before that, another thing we do is that this is our num0 variable that we created. So we are giving it the value of, see, stage 3 dot shift. This method we are using. So what this does is this remove the first elements and gives it to num0 variable. Okay, so we are removing the first element or the first number. This will be the first number in calculation. Why we are doing this is that um, in all calculation we will see that every time there the number of numbers is one more than the number of operations in a calculation. To make both of them equal, we are removing that and giving it to num0 variable. We will use that. Then another thing we are doing is that we are just taking another variable result and making it equal to the num0. So actually, in from both these lines, that our result variable will be equal to the first number in our calculation, as because it will be equal to the first number in stage 3 array. So okay, so these are things we are doing. So before that, to explain it uh, more simply, I am going to show you a video, animation video. Okay, so suppose that we have our calculation is this very simple thing: 4 multiplied by 5, then this thing added by 10. As we know that our result should be 430. So I'm going to show you what happens when the equal to button clicks. So as you see, so this is our stage 3 array for these operations. Okay, as you can see on screen, this is our calculation. And when we click the before we click the equal to button, okay, actually when we click the equal button, our stage 3 array will be this 4, 5 and 10. And actually our stage uh, before that, our stage 2 array was also similar to this, but with a change, just that these 4, 5 and 10 were not numbers but number strings. Okay, so now we have our stage 3 array is this 4, 5 and 10, and our op array will be this multiply and plus. Multiply for first operations and addition for our second operations. So we have two operations and three numbers. So we will see this thing in every operation, is that the number of numbers will be one more than the number of operations, as we are seeing in this operation. So the thing we are doing is that we are removing the first element of our stage 3 array and putting it into the num0 variable and also the result variable. So see, when I play this again, our num0 will be equal to the 4, and we will remove that, and we are making it equal to result. Okay, so I am pausing this and going to show you what we do further. Okay, so maybe I explained it. Okay, so we were here. Then the last thing we are doing is that for calculating the result, actual result, we are using a loop. As now, when we remove the first element of stage 3 array and put into the result variable, the length of our stage 3 array and the stage 3 array which has all the numbers in operations, and the op array which has all the operation as strings. Both of them, stage 3 array and op array, have the same length. So now we are using a loop on these array, starting at 0 and going up to the length. Okay, so going one less than the length. So this loop will work for the length of same as the length of the numbers and length of our OPA, or number of operations. Okay, so what we are doing inside a loop, okay, if we are using a if condition, that if op ith element is plus string, then what we will do is we will update the result variable with adding of stage 3 first ith element. For first iteration of loop, we will what we will do is, if the operation is plus, we will just update the result with adding the first number of our stage 3 arrays element. Okay, so this thing I'm going to show you with this video. Okay, so up to now we remove the first element and put into the num0 variable or the result variable. Then what we are doing is that with the loop we are updating the result with this condition result. Okay, so this rest is actually result, same as this result. So we are updating it as result opith element. So we will check this and make it plus minus or multiply divide, depending on the our element in the op array. Okay, and at the last this is our stage 3 ith element. Okay, actually this is stage 3 ith element. So okay, so then we are going to loop, see what happens. First thing, we get our op first element, so we use the multiply will come here. Then the first element in stage 3 array comes here. So in first iteration we update it to 20. Then see the things that happens, that we will update it, we use the plus comes here, then the second element of stage 3 array. So at the end of loop we get our result as 30. Okay, so this was here. Okay. So we have, sorry, so at the end of loop we get this result. As you see on the screen, everything is there, whatever happens with the click of a button. The first thing that happens is that we remove the first element, this 4 comes from here, then we put into the result array. Then to get actual result we update the result variable to the end of loop with this condition. We use the, we update the result, uh, then we check the first element of our op array. Then we check the first element of stage 3 array. From there we, in the first iteration of loop we get this 4. Then the first element of our stage, actually stage op array, multiply sign comes from there. Then we get the 5 from stage 3 array first element. So then the result updates to 20. And then the second iteration of loop, second or the last iteration of the loop, uh, we have already updated the result to 20. Then we use the second element of the op element, as you can see plus comes here. Then the 10 comes from stage 3 array, and at the end of loop we update this to 30. Okay, so this is the basic algorithm of loop. So by this process we come to the result. Okay, so this was my attempt. Actually I didn't explain the delete part. Okay, so if you want that, uh, then I will make another video. Okay, so this was my attempt. If you like, and if you want to give some suggestions, please comment. And if you liked the video, then please subscribe. Okay, thank you.